welcome to this video. A ton of you guys have been asking me about my color grading process, and by a ton of you I mean like 3 or 4 people. So today we're in the city and I'd figured I'd shoot some video, shoot some photo, and I'll take you guys along my color grading process in how that looks like in Premiere Pro. Let's go. When I was in college, I was under the impression that I would either pursue being a DP or an editor/colorist once I graduated. Those two areas of film really intrigued me at the time, and long story short, that dream took a backseat when my love for photography took over. Now, I still do a lot of video editing for various clients, but most of it is short form and not typically narrative driven. I just haven't had the motivation or time to do creative personal projects. So now that I'm doing YouTube, it almost feels full circle, but it is still very time consuming, especially the editing. There's been one area I've always struggled with in regards to video editing, and that is the color grading process. I used to overlook the way my videos look because I couldn't get them to a point where I was truly happy, and so I was never 100% satisfied with the final outcome. If you've used both Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve, you would know that the color grading section of DaVinci Resolve is just light years ahead of Premiere Pro. I've been using Premiere Pro for the better part of 6 years, and even though it's given me countless headaches and it's wasted so much of my time between the crashes and the slow playback, I continue to stick with it because it would just take me too much time to learn a new software as much as I know Premiere Pro. But now that I have a new tool for color grading, a lot has changed. So the film look has made quite a resurgence recently, and I've always wanted to test it out, but I've had no idea where to start. Not too long ago, I came across a plugin called Dehancer, which makes film emulation for videos and photos. And so I did a lot of research, and I became so interested in it that I was going to purchase a license for myself. But just before I did that, by some stroke of luck, the people at Dehancer saw one of my recent videos, and they reached out and asked me if I wanted to test and review their plugin. So, full disclosure, I'm not being paid to say any of this, and they have no input on the video, nor are they going to see it before it gets published, but in return, they are offering me a license to the plugin. So all the video clips that you saw in this video were edited using Dehancer. So before I take you into Dehancer and show you how it works, I should mention that I'm not sure if I edit in the most technically sound color grading manner. I just kind of do what I think looks right, and that's what matters to me the most. So before you get started, you'll obviously need to shoot some video clips. I'd recommend you shoot in a log profile so that way you have a lot more flexibility when it comes to getting the grade that you want. Of course, technical aspects of your camera and the way you shoot video will matter in terms of how far you can push your footage. In my case, I shoot all my video on my Sony a7 IV that I am filming myself with right now, and I shoot in 4K, S-Log3 in 10-bit 422 color. Alright, so let's hop into Premiere. So the plugin is honestly super simple to use. Once you download it and you install it, the plugin gets directly baked into the film emulation section of your effects panel. Once I have my footage laid out on my timeline, I'll add adjustment layers on top of them, which is where my grade will live. Depending on which camera and color profile you shoot, you'll select that and then the look adjusts accordingly. In my case, I'll scroll down to find Sony a7 IV and then I'll choose S-Log3 S-Gamut Cine. From there, it's a playground. You can spend hours tweaking things including the film stock you want to emulate, if you'd like to add grain, halation, bloom, and so much more, all to your liking. Some of the profiles that I've been using a lot have been Kodak Pro Image 100, Vision 3 250D, Fuji 100, Portra 800, and so much more. Now, I do use this as a base for my clips, and it gets me to 90% of my final look, but if I need to make any fine adjustments, I'll just go over to the color section in Premiere, and I'll make tweaks accordingly to the curves, saturation, hue, or whatever else is needed. So the plugin is available for Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, and Final Cut Pro. But if you don't edit on a desktop, they also have an iOS app which has really similar features to the desktop plugin. If you shoot videos on your phone, I think this is a great tool to polish up your videos and to get that film look. I've been super pleased with the results I've gotten, and I've already posted a few reels on Instagram where I edited my clips using the iOS app. I do think that the UI of the app could use a refresh. It feels a little bit outdated, but at the end of the day, it gets the job done. It took me some time to figure the app out, but after grading a few clips, I got pretty quickly used to it. As for the desktop plugin, I've already used it to grade some client work because it is super professional, and I just love how much control you have over what your videos look like. Dehancer also has a plugin for grading your photos. Now, I haven't tried it out, but if you're looking for help with that, I'd recommend going to watch some YouTube videos because I would assume that the plugin is pretty similar to the video version. This plugin is just going to be a staple for my video editing moving forward. I just think it helps with efficiency and finally getting me that grade that I've always wanted but never knew how to achieve. Eventually, I'd love to get to a point where my video colors can almost replicate the way I edit my photos. The more I learn Dehancer and the more I use it, that'll be something that I'm going to be trying to work on in the future. So if you guys are interested in checking it out, I would highly recommend doing a free trial first and seeing how it fits into your workflow. After your free trial, if you decide you want to purchase a license for yourself, you can use code MATSEF. It should be right here somewhere, and you will save 10% off at checkout, and I also get a small kickback. So if you do, I greatly appreciate it. And that's all I have for you guys today. So I know this video wasn't necessarily about photography, but don't worry, we'll be getting right back into that. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.